So, my copy of, here's a review, quick short review of the Stars Without Number revised edition, which just arrived today for me. So that cost me about $100 to get sent to Australia. So it's quite an investment, but it's a nice bit of work. So I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to show you that compared to the old Stars Without Number. So first of all, here it is, Stars Without Number, first book. The new main core rules for Stars Without Number revised edition. So it's quite thick, as you can see. It's got this cool borders here, and as the images change, it opens up to different chapters. So that's a really nice feature. So see, that one takes you to the Game Master resources, and then if you look at the images on the edge, it actually breaks down to each chapter nicely. So that's a really nice feature, which I find that I'll probably be using quite a lot as I run the game. Now this has a total of 321 pages, compared to the old Stars Without Number. This is the old Stars Without Number Core Edition, which has 252, but that one's in black and white. The art's still quite nice. I actually quite like it. It's sort of basic, but still pretty cool. Anyway, so that's that one. There's the thickness of that, and the top and the back, and it has the free edition cover, but actually this is the core edition. I didn't like the other one. And here they are side to side. So you can see the Stars Without Number revised edition is thicker, but a big part of that is also because the pages are actually thicker, although there are more pages. So anyway, there's that. So that was a fantastic book, and I have run many gaming sessions online and offline at the tabletop of Stars Without Number. So here I am with the new one. So I'm just going to go over it quickly. So I've already shown you the cool like edge here, so you can get to different chapters easily, which is a nice feature. And here's the image quality. See, it's rather good. So basically the chapters are quite similar really, but look at the art. Pretty nice, huh? So that's pretty impressive. There's a whole section. This, as you can see from my Godbound video, the layout is actually quite similar to the way that Godbound was laid out, with all the numbers on here. The pages feel thicker. You've got these nice edges on it, and the character gen, which is, here's a list of all the skills. It's kind of a shortened skill list. Still in two minds whether I like it. I don't know yet. I'll have to just wait and see and play, but I'm going to give it a fair shot and see how it goes. So there's all your backgrounds, and the skill distribution works in a bit of a different way, and that's fine. It looks, I think that looks a lot better. And this focus thing, which is quite interesting, it sort of pads out the character gen better in my opinion. And all the various final touches. This speeds up the character gen quite a lot if you want to use it. The equipment packages, which is pretty handy. There's even quick character gen, which, you know, if you just wanted somebody who just dropped in, or you just want some NPCs or whatever, then you could do something like that. The Psionic Section, which has changed fairly dramatically. It still has the main core telepathic abilities, but the way they work is broken down. Instead of having like 9 levels of abilities, you have sort of level 0 to 4, and then a bunch of specialization stuff. Here's talked about the saving throws, which have changed a bit. Some of the more pointless saving throws have been removed, which is nice. I never really liked some of the saves anyway. The skill checks works essentially the same. Combat is quite similar, but it has an ascending armor class rather than a descending, which is better, although there's going to be a bit of back calculation with all the older RPGs in the sign nominee range, but it's pretty straightforward. I'm not too bothered. Common actions in combat, a lot of stuff I was kind of doing something along those lines anyway, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Hacking, this has been laid out a bit better, which is nice. Advancement, which is, you know, by and large pretty similar really. Nice quick reference sheet, it's pretty good. More art, beautiful art, printed quite nicely. Tech levels, similar. The armor is essentially similar, it's just got the ascending armor class, but the descriptions of the armor and stuff are pretty much the same. The weapon damages and stuff and the way they work is very similar, but it has this shock damage type situation, which is kind of a bit like how the Silent Legions works with the triple damage thing. But the shock, I mean, you have to have a look in more detail regarding, here we go, shock. Then blah blah blah. Where you hit even if you miss with a shock, so it's more threatening, although it doesn't have quite the main impact that Silent Legions has, whereas if you kind of roll for this like critical type damage, and if you roll over a certain number then you triple the damage, which is even worse than this. Computer gear has been fleshed out more, which is nice. Drones, that's new, cool, haven't seen that. More stuff on cyberware and artifacts. There were artifacts in the original Stars of that number. Building a starship. This is the starship building is pretty similar, but the starship combat is padded out a lot more. It's still really abstract and stuff, but it allows everybody on the ship to actually do something and contribute, which is pretty cool. So that's really, really nice. Space travel looks pretty similar. It's all using this spike drives and everything. Here's all the different actions I was talking about, the bridge actions and so on, and like how damage can be applied with ships crises and all that sort of thing. History of space, which is probably the same. A lot of DM stuff, which is just a huge selling point of this role-playing game. Even if you're not going to run this role-playing game, just all this stuff is worth it. I mean, maybe you might not want to buy the physical book if you just want to use it for all the DMing stuff. If you're using another RPG, I got this because I'm definitely going to be running this. So what other stuff? Yeah, like scenario generation stuff, creating places, lots of GM guidance and stuff, robots and yeah, expert systems, which are like kind of smart computers, and then you got like AIs and so on. Alien and beast creation. Factions, which are really, really interesting, and that's a really great way of making your campaigns interesting, that things are always happening in the background, which is really cool. I use that in the old Stars of that number. I don't know how different it is from that. Can't imagine it's changed that much, but who knows. Here's some conversion stuff, so converting characters and psionics and a bunch of house rule options. Name generators, a lot of that was already there. Transhume is new. Space Magic is also new. The Arcanus and Adept and everything, that's going to be a really good read. Heroic characters, I think that's new for this as well. Heroic character classes, heroic combat. I guess that brings in line with things like Scarlet Heroes and all that sort of stuff, so that's cool. True AIs, so characters could play those. And mechs, that was already in the old one anyway. And that's basically it. So there you go, I'm really happy with how this has turned out, so that's really, really good. And that's it. Actually, that was actually a bit more in depth than I completely intended, but that's fine. And so there's that. And quickly just go over, there's the old Stars of that number book, Other Dust, which I also have, Silent Legions, and this one here, great for reference, the Universal Omnibus. Whoop-de-doo. So lots of stuff, lots of role-playing games to play. Oh, and also got my Godbound RPG, which arrived about a week ago. So I've got a really busy 2018. Thanks for watching, and I will see ya.